Hey mates, and welcome to More Than Meets the Eyes. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today we're going to be talking about Transformers Studio Series Transformers 1 ONE Bumblebee, aka Badassatron. Today we're going to be going over Bumblebee in his robot mode. We're going to be talking about the pros and the cons of the robot mode and discussing what I think about it at the end of the video. And all this is, of course, from the blind perspective. So if you want to help me raise awareness of the blind or assist me in being a blind advocate, then please hit the like button, share, and subscribe, because those things do help me reach the people I'm trying to reach. Because the mission of this channel is to assist the blind in managing the mental strain that comes from going blind. There is a lot of mental strain there, and things like this little transformer can assist in developing mind-hand coordination, which can also, help us in our everyday lives as blind people. So please help me reach more people. I really, really appreciate all of you for all the work you've done so far in helping me reach the blind. And I am absolutely enjoying this channel. I'm enjoying the people that have come to this channel, and I'm enjoying the things that we've done with this channel, and I'm really excited to see what we can do next with this channel in the future. So, join me, because we're in it for the long haul here. We're coming close to the end of the 5-year program that the 5-year idea that I had set forth back in 2021, and this is close to it, and we're getting there. We're getting to the end of the 5 years. And of course, I want 10,000 subscribers by the end of my 5 years. That would always be nice. That would be the greatest, 5-year anniversary for this channel. To get more than 5K subscribers at the 10,000 range. That would be cool. So that's enough of that. Let's get into today's video. Oh, and just an FYI, I'm supposed to be getting Mixmaster this week sometime, and I am just thrilled about it. We're going to be complete and devastator soon on this channel. I hope all of you are just as excited as me. Oh, it is an exciting time to be a Transformers fan, isn't it? It is. So let's get into this thing. We'll talk about his accessories first. So let me go ahead and take off his accessories without trying to disconnect things from him. There we go. He comes with a bunch of accessories for a Transformer. They usually come with 1 or 2, but this guy comes with 5. Yeah, 5 accessories. So we get his sniper rifle kind of gun. It is it's a neat little gun, but the end of it is kind of sad, because that end of this gun is not blast effect compatible. And it's like, why, guys? You did all this work to create these really fun and unique and interesting blast effects, and a lot of people do have them. So why not make things blast effect compatible? There we go. Yeah, see, it's not working, and that's a shame. But I do have a curiosity. I like managing the curiosities on the canvas. So let's see if I can... I don't know what that was, but I hate that it fell. Where is the little one? Oh, here it is. Here's my little G.I. Joe blast effect little container. So let's open the G.I. Joe blast effects up and see if a G.I. Joe... No, that's a gun. Here we go. Here's a fun little blast effect. Let's see if this fun little blast effect can plug into this gun. Oh, isn't that a shame? Isn't that a shame? I'm like, why? Why are you even going to put a gun barrel in it if you're not going to size the gun barrel for either the G.I. Joe blast effects or the Transformers blast effects? It's just I don't know. I don't like it when they do stuff like that. Like, you got all these tools and abilities that you can utilize, and you don't. And you make a gun that has a barrel that's too small for Transformers blast effects and too large for G.I. Joe. Wait, there's one G.I. Joe blast effect we can try. Let me get it from the Rattler over here. I have it plugged into his engine. Here it is. Okay, let's see. No, that's too big. Okay. Oh well. It was worth a shot, wasn't it? Yeah, let's plug that back into the Rattler's engine. There we go. Cool. Oh wow. So that's the gun. It's like a little sniper gun. It's actually one of the better feeling weapons in Transformers that I've come across so far. It's smooth, it's sleek. We got some really cool little etchings in there and sculpt work done on it. It's got a nice little handle. It's even got a little ammo pack that pops it down from in front of the handle. This is one of the better designed guns that we've come across in Transformers. So that's a really nice big gun that Bumblebee comes with. Now, I said 5 accessories, but you're probably looking at this and going, but there's only 3, if you can see. That's because these 2 little weird things, I'm assuming they're his stingers, because, ever since the Bay movies, they've been giving Bumblebee stingers. But they come with little knives. They come with little knives, and you can pull the knife out of his little stinger thing, and you can put it in his hand. So he can wield 2 knives. So let's grab the other one. Bumblebee wielding knives is actually kind of fun. Look at that. Look at that. He's got 2 little knives he can wield. Yeah. He's gonna shank you. Okay. So that's the fun little knives that you can get from these. The little these weapons he comes with are very similar to the weapons that movie Bumblebee had from the live action movies, and they're all right, but they definitely are shaped weird. They're like 2 little Y's, and it's odd. And when you put the knives in, they become lowercase Y's. Look at that. 2 lowercase Y's. And there's a little gun barrel in there that doesn't apply to any blast effect, but there we go. Now, I do wish they had made them small enough for the G.I. Joe blast effects. I think that would have been awesome. Okay, that's his accessories. He comes with 2 weird little guns, a big gun, and then 2 conifers. Yeah. Okay, now let's get to talking about the figure himself, and he is kind of a fun one. He's got a lot of articulation to him, which I always enjoy. And, he's lightweight for one. He is not too heavy, but he's made out of good, sturdy plastics that don't feel cheap, which is always good. So, let's talk about him from the bottom up. First off and foremost, I want to talk about the giant negative zone in his feet. Like, look at that, just all of that. Nothing, not even waffling, not even a little piece of plastic to cover it. It's just this deep pit. And he doesn't even have siege ports on the bottoms of his feet. No, he's just got hollow feet, and that's a shame. I wish they had done something more with those feet. Now the texture on above the feet is really nice. Like, we got some decent textures here. We got what feels like metal textures, and we've got the creases of metal. Unlike action figures, there's no leather or anything like that. We just get this solid structure, and I like his little toes kind of stick out a bit further, and they make for the end of a nice shoe he's wearing, a nice little boot. On the side of his leg, he's got his wheel, which I wish they had done something with. That's something I've really appreciated from the Earthrise Bumblebee. They took that wheel on the side of his foot, and they pulled it back and put it in the back of his foot, and then it was strapped in and held down really well. Where they have them like this, if they're so close to the ground. Anyway, so that's something about them. They do feel nice though. They really feel like sci-fi wheels. That is science fiction wheels for sure. We got this big hubcap thing that covers the entire wheel, and there's not even what feel maybe a little traction texture on the edge of the wheel, but there's not really much. It spins really well though. Above the wheel, we've got some more folded in patterns from where the legs transform, because the legs do something interesting. We've got a single jointed knee that pulls more than a 90. We've got a side, wow, your ankle tilt is really far up on your boot. That is wild. But he's got a good ankle tilt, really big one. He can kick sideways at almost a 90. He can kick forwards at a 90. He can kick back at a 90, and he's got a thigh rotation there. He also can pull a 360 at the waist, and the upper thighs, by the way, have some really cool texturing. We got vents in the upper thighs. Oh, that's always nice. That's something that they should just do with more of the upper thighs. Just add vent textures. Why not? I think that's awesome, and I like how they have the folded materials around the thigh. It gives this thigh a little depth. It gives it more than normal. And on the back end of it, though, it's very smooth, very flat, lacking a lot of textures. Compared to the rest of this figure, the back of the thighs is very lackluster. There is one line texture going down them, but that's it. Now, coming up here to the upper, to the core of the body, We've got his, his chest piece that comes out, and it's got a little piece in there that connects it to the interior chest area. That's really well done, and it kind of pops out a bit more and gives him sort of a belly. Like he's got a bit of a beer gut on him. And, and that kind of works for the Bumblebee from that movie, which, by the way, Bumblebee from the Transformers 1 movie is my favorite character from that movie, partly because it's the first movie in a long time where Bumblebee does a lot of talking, and I love Bumblebee talking. I just, and whenever he's doing a stupid radio thing, I tune it out. I completely tune it out. Bumblebee is a non-character in the live-action movies, in my opinion. I never see him as anything more than a dog or something. It's weird, but oh well. Continuing, we've got a 360-degree movement in the shoulder there. We've got a little bit of butterfly, but not really much. Then we've got a bicep swivel and a single-jointed elbow with no sort of articulation in the hands. And his hands are kind of small and lackluster. The textures on his arms are really good. We got the other wheel, the front wheels for the robot mode, vehicle mode. One wheel is on each shoulder. On the forearms, we've got some line work going on in there. We got some folded over kind of feeling and textures like it's supposed to be layers of armor. And he's got a siege port on the back of his arms or on the side of his forearm, depending on how you look at it. But seeing as the elbow is there, that's the back of the arm. So on the underside of his arm, he's got 2 siege ports. And then 2 siege ports counting his hands, and that is it for siege ports. Now we're going to come over here to his face, and his face is decent. We've got a nice Bumblebee face. I like how they've taken his older face, and they've just kind of applied it to this newer face. It works out, I think. I do wonder if they gave him a mask, though. Let's see. Did they give you a mask, or do you have a... Oh, no. You have lips. So they didn't give you a mask. It's a shame. I like masks on Transformers. I think it just kind of works. So, that is Bumblebee. Moving around here to the back real quick, we've got his back panel, which doesn't do anything. It just kind of wiggles back and forth. It doesn't even have a siege port on it, so he can hold more weapons. And that's it. Some people said that you make him into, some people have said that you can, turn him into Badassatron or something like that, but I don't see it. I don't see it at all. I haven't been able to figure out, does he get a mask or something? I've opened up his chest area completely and tried to, peel in there to figure out, is there a way to get this guy, oh, crap. I hate it when you open up the chest area like that and his head just doesn't want to go back in. Why can you get out of this transformation? But it's always difficult for you to get your freaking thing back together. Oh my god. Get your head through your... Okay. Anyway, other than the terrible clearances this guy has... There it goes. Okay, good. And the fact that I can't figure out how to turn him into Badassatron, other than, moving his hands into his forearms, which isn't too difficult. It's actually really easy to do. Just move the elbow up, and then reach below the fingers and pull down. And it should have split, but it didn't. Okay, it is difficult to get into his forearms because they are so small. I wish they had figured out a different way to do this part of the transformation. That is, Anyway, tomorrow we're gonna struggle with getting his arms open to put his hands away, and we'll talk about ways to improve that. There it goes. Okay, figured it out. So let's just put one of his hands away to show you the whole, I'm assuming, Badassatron thing where his entire arm becomes a cannon. That's how I'm thinking it does, because people kept saying Badassatron, and I was like, okay, there's obviously things like with Sentinel Prime here, there was a really fun part where you could actually unfold his chest and pull out this mask, and it goes on his face. It's so cool. I love it, and I was hoping that I'd get the same treatment with Bumblebee, but I did not. And that did hurt my opinion of this figure. When people kept saying Badassatron, I kept thinking there was going to be a fun mask and some cool things, but there's not. So I don't know what they were talking about. I really don't. And let's compare him to my other favorite character from that movie, Sentinel Prime. And there we go. The top of Bumblebee's head goes to the chest right below Sentinel Prime's face. I think. Right? No, actually, you're further down, aren't you? Yeah. Look at that. You're a good distance down from his. You can stare directly into his abs. Side-by-side comparison with the two, Sentinel Prime is standing a lot taller than Bumblebee. Sentinel Prime, of course, weighs more than Bumblebee, but not by much. And when it comes to Bumblebee's weight, badass Sentinel Prime off to the side. When it comes to Bumblebee's weight, his weight is really put into the core of him. His feet are very light, and his arms aren't very heavy at all. So the majority of this character's weight is going to be in his core, which means you can kind of slam him down, but be careful because, you know, his feet aren't really that heavy. But in a bonus to him is that his feet are very long and wide, so he can just kind of, you can just kind of bundle him around and knock him around, and he's gonna do his best to stand, you know, to stay standing. And I really appreciate that. You know, that's some good made stuff right there. So my thoughts and feelings on him, I'm gonna give this figure a, yeah, he's getting a B+. I think this robot mode is pretty good. It's got some quirks to it that I don't necessarily like how the shoulders don't like to stay in their positions and they kind of fall a bit, so you can have a Bumblebee with slumped shoulders. Like, it's Bumblebee, he's having a bad day, his shoulders are all slumped down and he's bent forwards. He's a sad Bumblebee. So you can make a sad Bumblebee. But I don't really like that those shoulders do that. I really want some more sturdy connections in my Transformers for those things. So, B+, he's a good figure overall, but there are some things lacking on him. But for the most part, decent robot mode. They did a good job bringing this character to life, even though they didn't give him a mask, and the audio descriptions have never really explained what he meant by being a Badassatron. So I'm still confused. If you know, please, in the comments below, describe what makes Bumblebee Badassatron in the Transformers 1 movie, because I would really like to be a part of this joke or whatever it is. I would love to be a part of it. So if you can help me out with that, that would be amazing. Tune in next Prime where I'll be teaching you how to transform Bumblebee here from his robot mode to his vehicle mode. Until then, bye-bye for now.